Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Coming Up Milhouse. Today we are talking about Season 3, Episode 18. It's called Dog of Death.
So this is an episode where Santa's little helper gets a health crisis. He has a twisted stomach. And it's going to cost $750 to get an operation to fix it. So the family has to make a bunch of financial sacrifices in order to make that happen, and it's a little bit hard on them, and then they don't appreciate Santa's little helper as much as they should after the fact, and he gets a little sad and wanders off, and they got to go find him, and that's the basic idea we got going on here. And lots of funny jokes mixed in throughout the sad part, but where he's sick and then he goes running away. But there's lots of funny stuff in there. I like it. So.
It's also lottery fever, so that's happening as well. And obviously, if they are struggling with paying $750, that kind of gives you a clue on whether they won or lost the lottery play.
Did the Simpsons actually win anything? Not so much. Alright, so why don't we move into our lines? You want to start us off with one?
I don't need your crummy job, Mr. Employer. I won the lottery.
Right off the bat, like the first scene. And then like the boss is like, well, I don't need employees, I won the lottery. And then the window washers, we won the lottery. Everyone wins the lottery.
And it was a commercial for the lottery, and it was, everybody's a winner. Sidebar, you know.
Yeah, like only 1 in 380 million chance of winning. It's like that's like the fine print.
That was too funny.
That was a great way to kick off the episode. I like that one. So I'm going to say my line has a lot to do with the lottery subplot, and my line is tragic mix-up today in Cleveland. Many killed. Well, see ya. So they're reading the lottery numbers on live, and Kent Brockman's got a ticket, and he wins on the air, and he's celebrating, and then he's still working, he's still on the air doing the news, and the next story is that tragedy, and then that's how he he's won $100-some billion, and he's like, tragic. Many dead. See ya.
Sad news out of Cleveland today, right?
Out of Cleveland,
see ya. So,
yeah, that was mine.
Oh my goodness.
What about number 2?
I'll never forget the day he bagged his first hippie. He certainly didn't think that was groovy. That was, Mr. Burns was watching his attack dogs because he's frequently saying release the hounds in this episode and in other episodes, and one of his hounds is old and chubby and not fast at all, and so he's reminiscing about how he got that dog in the 60s and never forgetting how he attacked his first hippie.
That was so funny. This is another one of them episodes. There were just lines after line. It was hard to pick two.
Well, and just the delivery Mr. Burns had with that line just cracked me up too. So.
Oh, good stuff, good stuff. All right, so my line number 2 has to do with when the family's dealing with trying to cut corners because they had to pay $750. And the line is Homer, he's like, stupid chub night. He goes, hey, how come he gets meat? Santa's little helper's eating his dog food. And Marge says, you wouldn't like what he's eating. It's all snouts and entrails. And Homer goes, snouts.
I also like that line.
Stupid chub night is the line. I love it. I don't know what chub is.
It's one of... we used to catch chubs in the creek all the time.
Oh, that's what they were talking about? Yeah. I thought it was a vegetable.
It's like a really nasty fish. I never ate it, but...
Okay. Yeah. I didn't realize they were referring to that. Okay.
Yeah.
Funny.
So...
Okay, scene time. What do you got for scenes?
Scene time. I particularly liked the scene where Santa's little helper goes on his adventure, and they are blending his running away on a map. So they're using that map technique to show the little dots of him exploring a new area to explore. And my favorite part about that was he was a black dot, and you could watch his progress on the map, and then it would segue into him doing something. And then all of a sudden he's a black dot chasing a red dot on the map, and then the red dot jumps up in the air and then goes up a tree and is going, so he's clearly chasing a cat around the map, and we don't see that live in action, but it's obviously happening.
Right.
So that was my favorite scene.
And that's good. They're playing the theme, the Peter and the Rabbit.
Right.
Or Peter and the Wolf.
Peter and the Wolf.
Peter and the Wolf, do. Yeah. It's funny you say that because I actually had started out writing that scene down as my scene. I got a little squiggly line here because I decided to go with another one that came a little bit later. But I like that one a lot. It was almost my pick. But then another scene comes in that I just had to pick, and it was the Clockwork Orange parody.
Yeah.
And so Mr. Burns gets Santa's little helper from the kennel or whatever, and he's training a new attack dog to replace that fat hippie kid one that he did. So he's putting Santa's little helper through all this horrible training to make him mean, and one of it is a parody of the movie Clockwork Orange, where they got Santa's little helper's eyes opened up with a device, and they're forcing him to watch horrible images of dog abuse.
Yep.
With like,
the
Valkyrie, with Attack of Valkyrie in the background, or some crazy music like that. And then, because it was a parody of that, and I just thought it was so funny an image, I decided to pick that as my scene, because they are really good when they parody weird stuff like
different memorable movie scenes. For sure.
A movie like that, and they're putting it in this. It's a bold choice, so I went with it. Yeah. So winners and losers. Which one do you want to do? How do you want to do it?
Go with your winner first.
My winner are the jerks at Moe's.
Oh.
So Homer's desperate for money, so he's at Moe's, and there's these jerks that are like, dance for a quarter, and he's singing Rummy, and he's singing and dancing, and they're making Homer like perform like a monkey to get a quarter, and they're getting laughs out of it. But I put them as winners because like sometimes a winner ain't a righteous winner. Right. They're just winning because they get what they want, and they were able to make Homer humiliate himself for a lousy quarter. And
or if you look on the bright side of that, they were getting an entertaining show while Homer sings Buffalo Gals, won't you come home tonight for a quarter? So cheap entertainment.
Cheap entertainment, they got what they wanted.
Right.
So and it just was silly.
It was silly.
So that's a big reason why I picked it. It was so silly. What do you got for winner? My
winner is Apu, because during the lottery fever, everybody swarms into the Quickie Mart, and Apu is basically like he runs out of lottery tickets and has a fat wad of cash, and he sends his brother to go buy more lottery tickets from another store to bring them over so he can sell them. So, and other people were buying other things, and so I chose Apu. That was the most traffic in the Quickie Mart.
Yeah, he had a good day because I'm sure people bought, while they were getting their lottery tickets, they may as well gotten
buy a donut
some jerky or something. Right. I'm sure he made a lot of money that day. What about loser? What do you got for that?
My loser is Ted Kennedy.
Bit by a llama.
He got bit by a llama at Kent Brockman's party. Of course, we don't see that, but we hear it. So Ted Kennedy got bit by a llama at Kent Brockman's house.
And Kent Brockman was like, good. So obviously, Kent Brockman's not a fan. So.
Right, but why would he be at his house?
I don't know. Probably so he could train the llama to bite him.
Right, maybe it was an attack llama, kind of, maybe they were Clockwork Oranging the llama.
Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, what do you do?
Anything's possible.
Kent Brockman could have been doing that with.
He's got the money. He might have been bored and was like, "Hey, let's."
Right.
Fill in the gaps, folks, wherever you want.
Who knows?
Yep.
What about you?
So my loser was the wheelbarrow guy. So early in the episode when the lottery fever goes back to what you said about Apu and the Quickie Mart and everybody buying the lottery tickets, This guy goes out the Quickie Mart door with a wheelbarrow full of lottery tickets.
Right.
He must have had hundreds. And then a gust of wind comes and blows all his lottery tickets away. And you know, I know Kent Brockman won, but often in the lottery there's more than one winner. That guy might have had a winning ticket. We don't know. He could have had to split it with Kent Brockman.
It's true. We don't know.
You know, but that guy, he must have spent like $800 on tickets. He had a whole wheelbarrow full.
He did.
And they got blown away, so that was my guy. We're a wheelbarrow guy. Loser of the week for me. All right.
Got it.
Okay, well, that was the episode Dog of Death.
Right. And so that's episode 18 if you're watching on Hulu or Disney. It's episode 19 if you're watching on DVD. And it's season 3. So feel free to share your winners and losers or your favorite lines or favorite scenes in the comments below. Give us a subscribe over here in the lower corner. And give us a thumbs up if you liked what we had to say about this episode in our review today.
Thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it. We'll be coming back at you next week as usual. And until then, Jiminy Jillikers!